everyone, I'm going to try this new thermochromatic powder that Resin sent me. Well, say, new to me, anyway. But also, if you're watching this video during November 2023, this is my first video since reorganising my craft room and moving into a different room. Half of the room is still a nightmare, but my filming space is operational. So, I thought we'd do a quick simple test of these powders, and we'd try this new mould I've got. And the big important thing I need your help with is a bit of feedback on my sound and on my lighting. So this part of the film is being done in natural daylight. Because we're into very short days, obviously, in the Northern Hemisphere at the moment, the demoulding of this will be probably after dark, because I'm going to use a, just a regular resin that takes a good few hours to cure. So we'll be able to see what my lighting looks like when I switch to artificial lighting as well. So I need you to let me know what it's like. It's all the same gear, except I bought a new microphone. It's over here, just before I move craft rooms. But other than that, it's all the same gear, just a different room which has different lighting. This room faces south, so it's going to get hot in the summer. So yeah, I need to get some new fans as well. So I'll need your feedback at the end. Right, yes, so let me know how the sound sounds, how the lighting looks, on both permutations of it and so on. But only if you're watching this in November 2023, because it will not make any sense after that. Right, let's try these powders then. The little kit comes with the, oh, isn't this cute? With these cutesy little stirry spoons. They look like cocktail stirrers or something. Aren't they lovely? A lot of people ask about the stirrers that I normally use, which haven't got little spoons on the end. They're neat, aren't they? They are cocktail sticks, what I normally use. So I've got those. We will get a little pot. I'm just going to use some little paper pots for this. I find I can use these a few times before I chuck them away, if I clean them up. And we're going to use some of my regular resin with it, which is the Apex 1:1. Some people have asked why I don't tend to, oh green, why I don't tend to use the Let's Resin resin. Unfortunately, that's the one I'm allergic to, but only one of their range I'm allergic to, so I just avoid that. But I do use their polyurethane resin. As you know, I exclusively use their silicone and loads of their other products. It's just that one resin that I'm allergic to. Message for you there, if you're allergic to a particular resin, despite all your best efforts with respirators, goggles and everything else that we wear, and gloves and stuff, just try different brands. You might find that it is just one or two that you're allergic to. Their compositions are different, so just keep trying. And just because that one from that brand you react to doesn't mean that you might not be okay with their other stuff, such as I'm totally fine with Let's Resin's polyurethane, with their deep pour one, deep pour epoxy, with their UV resin. It is literally just their normal, regular, everyday resin. So test them all is the answer. Anyway, right. Well, it's got to be green, hasn't it? So these are thermochromatic. I have got a heat lamp. Is it on? Yes, it's on. Look, this is one that's used for reptiles. I'll just show you this. I thought this would be good for creating some localised heat. We've also got various size heat mats too, so we can try them all. But let's put these under the light, under this heat. I could put them on the heat mat, couldn't I? That might be easier, but we'll see. Let's just see what they do. I'm going to put this on really high and go along them all. There we are. And see what happens. In particular, I want to see what the green does, because that's what we're going to use for our frog. Right, while that's happening, I'll mix up some resin. And as I said, it's the Apex resin that I'm using. Here it is. High gloss. It's supposed to take about 20 hours to cure. I generally find, unless my room is exceptionally cold, it'll cure in less than that time. It's a 1:1, which makes it easy for me. And also, I never have to worry about bubbles. So although I do have an airless machine, which is fabulous for getting rid of bubbles, I don't very often need it when I'm using this resin. So I tend to find I use my debubbling doodah more when I'm doing things like big stuff like pyramids and things. Where's all my little stirry? This is the thing, I've moved rooms, can't find anything. Oh, here we are. Here's my regular stirry things. I'm going to use those just for what I think they've intended them for, which is scooping out the powder. I think what I might do is use my heat lamp to warm this resin as well. So I've partly stirred it, but I just want to see what these are doing first. Oh yeah, look, it goes a lighter, brighter green. Look, there's the cool side, there's the hot side. In here as well, can you see we've got two different colours in there. The purple goes to pink, the orange goes to yellow, and the blue goes, there's a blue-purple flip there too. Wow, lovely. Oh, so do I want a green frog or do I want a blue frog? Because that goes green. Oh, now look, too many choices. Gosh, that heat lamp got that warm. Better turn that off, that's going to be too much for the resin, it'll flash cure. Actually, that's better, you can see better now actually, now I've turned that off. But yeah, look at the colour change in that, you see? Woo, I like that. That one's dramatic, isn't it? Must be the same technology they use for things like mood rings. Do I do green, yellow? Do I blue? Oh yeah, go on, just do traditional sort of green because it's a frog. Now, I'm presuming you can paint this into the mould. It's got one of those little foil tops on it. You know what, I'm not going to be able to find my craft knife, am I? Oh, gold. I'll be glad when I found everything. Here we go, let's have some tweezers. Nice scruffy looking tweezers, those will do it. Ah, little poof of powder. Goes everywhere. That's something else I haven't sorted out, a bin. Just want to say some thank yous actually for my craft room move. Obviously, first of all, massive thank you to Mark, my other half, because he's been putting shelves up, moving wardrobes, and he has very little time because he's also almost a full-time carer for his mum, so I don't see much of him, and every time he comes home I've been just grabbing him and, can you do this, can you do that? Because I am a bit lame. Look, you can really see the colour change in there. So the biggest thanks, obviously, goes to Mark. I'm putting quite a lot in, look. The other thanks go to all of you for being patient and supportive while I've not been posting videos. And those who sent nice messages when I was getting grief about not posting videos. I did ignore those people because they were obviously idiots. You were saying, ignore them, we're all being patient. I know. The real crafters amongst you know what this is like, don't you? And we're totally sympathetic to my cause. I'm probably putting way too much of this in. But hey, I want to get a dramatic result. Now, I'm going to leave it on time-lapse when I put this into cure. This is going everywhere. I really should slow down. I will put it on time-lapse because as it cures, resin gets hot, doesn't it? So this little guy should go bright yellow. Right, I'll let that sit for a minute and I'm going to clear up this almighty mess I've already made in my lovely new craft room. One thing to know about the lovely new craft room, I've got a carpet in here. Because this has been kind of our storage and junk and not really very much used as a proper spare room, it's still got the carpet in that was in the house when we moved in 2000. Yes, 23 years ago, and it was pretty horrible then. So I've deliberately left it that way. One, we hadn't really got time because I wanted to crack on with it to change the carpet, and two, it's probably going to get ruined anyway. So what I'm going to do is chuck down an old rug and put some glitter in this too. Do you think you'd like a bit of glitter? I'm putting everything onto my new pegboards because I've got a lot more than I had before. I'm finding stuff, it's quite exciting. Glitter, hang on, that's over here. Let's have a bit of this lighter glitter. This is one from the Just For You online set that I've got of essential glitters, and I'm going to put quite a lot. Even a bit of sparkle. I just saw this. I saw this mould. I can't remember. Was it Amazon or Temu or I don't know. Anyway, I was searching frog mould just to see what was out there, and this came up. Kermit is here to supervise, by the way. Oh, that's pretty. I had a horrible moment when I couldn't find Kermit, and I thought, well, I've got all the ones I made from him, and I've got the moulds, but it wouldn't be the original Kermit. Anyway, he turned up. He was sitting on the top of my pot of Wonder Wipes. Right, this should be well and truly mixed up now. I'll put my stirry stick to one side and pour this in, and if it's too much, yeah, it's going to be way too much, then I shall tip some in something else, because that's rather pretty, isn't it? Should we make a heart? Don't know why I want a green heart, but you know, it's a mould I've got handy. Let's lob it in there. Make sure I've got enough here first. Looks like it. I'm just going to put a little drip because it's still got to run into his fingers. There we go. And this is just a little fat heart I've got handy. Many of you will know that usually when I've got leftovers, because I've mixed up too much, I tip it into a trinket tray mould. This was one when I was doing Christmas stuff a couple of weeks ago. Some of you will have seen this. Any leftovers, I just lob them in here. And then I'll show you what I do with that. I need to turn that into a messy tray, because I haven't done a mat for that one yet. So yeah, normally I just turn my little pot upside down and stand it in that mould or a similar one. As regards reusing the paper cups, somebody suggested ages ago I use paper cups, and I said no, because I want to be able to reuse them. So I do use the silicone ones a lot, but lately I've been using paper ones and finding that if I scrape them out thoroughly, and then either give them a wipe or just let it dry. Because once it's dry, of course, I can just reuse it. That's not going to do any harm. So usually I'll stand them upside down in that mould to drip out, having scraped out what I can, and yeah, either wipe it or leave it to dry. Stirry sticks, of course, I can wipe those out and reuse. Yeah, while that's curing, let's put him to one side, and we can watch it as well, can't we? While that's curing, I'll just show you what I do with these to turn them into sticky mats. Sticky mat, messy tray, what am I calling it now? Messy trays. Right, again, little pot. Silicone. As you know, this is my silicone of choice. Always has been. Well, I say always. Tried many, always come back to this one. Nowadays, Let's Resin very kindly send me a supply of it too, which is wonderful. Thank you again, Let's Resin. While I'm mixing this up, shall I tell you about the new things that are on my table? This is a one-to-one as well, so nice and easy for me. Yeah, the other things that are on my table, you can't see it here, but I've got a whacking big black heavy-duty rubber craft mat. That is from Let's Resin. Absolutely awesome. I've covered the majority of my desk with it. I then got some more of these purple mats. These are from Amazon, and I will put you the link for these. These are quite heavy duty as well, and it is a double size to what you normally get in our little craft mats. I have cut it in half so that I've got two smaller ones out of some of these, although I've kept one big. The one I've cut in half, I don't know if you can see, or is it off shot, I've cut a little bit out of it. Can you see there? That goes round where the electrical connector is on a heat mat. So I've done a couple like that. What else have I got? I've got a stand for my iPad, because I'm going to try some different filming angles, which I will want some feedback on at some point. And I've now got room to have my tub of Wonder Wipes to hand, which is a lot better. I've got two areas on this desk too. I've got a drying area where my levelling table is, another little gift from Let's Resin. I've got my heat pads ready, all plugged in. I've got a lot of plugs. I've got fans. I might buy a couple of big windows that'll open right up. I've got some fans to use as extractors. Things all along the windowsill as well. It's just a much better space for me. once I finish sorting everything out. Right, you're supposed to stir this for a lot longer, but as it's such a small pot and I've been stirring it fairly frantically, it should be okay. So what I've done then, this is just, as I said, this is just a little tray where I've chucked in any leftover resin that I've got. That's why it's all different colours and the back looks a bit weird, and I could put little feet on it I suppose, but I don't bother. So there's all sorts gone in here, just whatever's left in my pot I just chuck it upside down, leave it for 10 minutes to drain out, then finish cleaning the pot out. And eventually I end up with a tray, like so. And it kind of tells the story of what my craft room has been doing for the last, it's usually a couple of weeks to fill one of these up. And then I just mix up some silicone and pour it in, and that'll be enough. Might need a bit more. Because all I'm doing is making a little mat which will be removable. Yeah, I'll mix up a little bit more. Which will be removable to clean. Eventually, when it gets too manky for words, I'll replace it. So I'm just going to mix up a bit more. It only needs to be really thin. Now the other thing I'll mention about this silicone rubber from Resin, there's a couple of things. One, as I know you'll know from my previous videos, if you've watched them when I'm making moulds, it dries translucent. Well, you can see it dries like that basically. So if you're making small stuff that you want to be able to use with your ultraviolet curing resins, little jewellery pieces and things like that, then you can you can get a light to go through it, which is great. Not overly important for bigger stuff usually, but I do find it handy because you can see where you've poured up to with your, you know, when you're pouring your mix of your resin in. It's clear or sort of translucent. The other thing is it cures quite quickly. Other ones I've tried take kind of 24 hours. This I find is usually pretty much cured in, say, 4 hours. It's still a bit sticky usually, which is handy if you're going to need to put, like, to build up layers of silicone for whatever reason, because it will stick to itself, so you don't get it coming apart where you did the 2 pours. So I find I can usually demould it 4 or 5 hours, something like that, and then just leave it a few hours to air before you actually use it. Probably the next day is the best time to use it. But the actual initial, you know, the basic cure is really quick. There, that's more than enough. That's going to be quite a thick mat, that now. So I'm off to let these cure. I am going to put this on time lapse so that we can see what happens with the heat of the resin on the little frog in the heart. Probably won't do anything for a while though, will it? Just spreading this, making sure the silicone fills up. There we are. Okay. I shall pop this on time lapse and I'll see you later. You've heard enough of me waffling. I'll go and have a cup of tea and something to eat. Okay folks, time to demould. You can see it's gone really dark green. It's still slightly bendy. Probably should have gloves on still as a result. I'll wash my hands thoroughly after this. I know I don't have any allergic reactions to this particular resin, but you know, it's still dangerous stuff. Oh, isn't he nice? The green sank, the glitter sank. I need to draw his little eyes in. Lovely. And the little heart. I should have done the same really, shouldn't it? That was just the leftovers. Oh, isn't that pretty? Great, if you ever want a green heart, there's a green heart. Okay, we've got a couple of ways we could heat these up. This is my favourite little heat pad. Look at that, isn't it cute? Little tiny one. Or we could just shine that light on it again. I think I'm going to put them on. Oh no, if I put them on a heat pad, it will probably melt them, won't it? So let's come in with some heat and see if It still does its thing. I'm going to take the frog out of the way actually, because I don't want to melt him. It might melt, I don't know. So let's have a look at our colour. Really dark green. And I certainly did it while it was curing. It went lime green very quickly. Let's turn this up on full. Yeah, it's going lighter, can you see? Be interesting to see if it does through the glitter as well. So this might be interesting to put on the outside of a mug, mightn't it? Not round the edge where you drink from it, but I don't know. Yeah, look, that's gone really light green now. Will it show through the glitter? Let's have a look. No, we wanted to have a good look at it first, didn't we? The glitter's lovely, isn't it? Oh, look, around the edges, but you can see that layer's gone. Leave that a second. I'm going to go looking for my pen. While that's doing that, oh, actually, you can turn it off now. That's probably enough to show whether it's worked or not, hasn't it? Yeah, the whole thing's gone lighter green, hasn't it? That's pretty. Oh, that's really quite hot. Now, while that's cooling down, yeah, look, cool one, hot one. Cool one, hot one. There you go. You can really see it side by side now. Right, while that heart is cooling down, I'm going to put the eyes on the little frog. And the pen I'm going to use is a gold metallic pen, and it's from Just For You online. So I'm going to give it a good shake. It is specifically designed to work on resin. So first thing we need to do is to activate it, which you do by pressing the tip down on something. So I'm going to bodge it down on a bit of paper I've got over to the side here. There we are. That was quick and easy. So now you can see we got gold ink at the tip. I'm just going to colour his eyes in. Oh, he's got a little indentation for like a gill or something. They don't have gills. They have, I think it's an eardrum. It's an external looking eardrum, isn't it? I'm really not doing this very well, am I? Just For You online, please can we have some fine tipped ones of these, please? That would be great. These are fantastic for edging your coasters because they're a big fat chisel tip. I think they're the best I've actually found, but not so good when you're trying to do little details like your frog's eyes, of course. Right, we're going to let that cure, and then for the black I'm going to use this. This is the Illustrator pens from Spectrum Noir. They're an alcohol pen. So let's do his nose. Then we can do like so. Put his mouth in as well. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so that's a cute mould. Might need to go over the eyes a couple of times to get that black to go really black. But there we go. Isn't he lovely? Oh, now we know about those thermo. Look, that must still be hot. You can see it's starting to cool around the edges. What about that colour difference? Isn't that amazing? So our thermo reactive colours from, what are they called? Thermochromatic powders from Resin, Very good. I'll try all the other colours in other various things coming up soon. Right, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up please, and don't forget, I do want to know what you think about the light. We're on night light now. I'm getting a lot of shadows. I think I might need a light coming in here or something, but is that a good light for you? And what's the sound like? Because I've got my microphone in a different position to usual. What does that sound like? And I don't know how you're doing for background noise, because this room backs onto one of the main roads into the estate, though everybody's going quite slow, so hopefully it'll be okay. Let me know. Really value your comments. So if you like this video, in addition to commenting on those things for me, please, giving me that feedback on my new setup, could you give me a thumbs up? I'd really appreciate that. And of course, I always love to read your comments anyway. So if it's after November 2023, then please leave all your other thoughts and comments and questions below, and I will get to them when I can. Button to subscribe is below, and of course also the join button if you'd like to join my little membership scheme and take advantage of the perks and things that I have there and support my channel further. Then that's where you find the join link. Thank you very much everyone, and I'll see you for the next video.